Hello, I'm Miss Linda with the Morton Mandan Public Library. Today we are making birdhouses. And as you may have guessed, we like to visit the recycle bin, see what's in there, and see what we can use out of there to make our little projects that we do. I do that a lot at the library. I do it here at home as well. So what we have today is a birdhouse made from a milk carton, as you can see. It's a half-gallon size milk carton that I pulled out of the recycle bin, and actually it's a half and half, which I use half and half in my coffee. So I pulled out my half and half carton that I had in there. Now, if you have a juice carton, a milk carton, any of those will work as well. They're pretty much constructed the same way. Some of them have the screw caps on the top and some do not. If they do not have a screw cap, then you probably have this part open. So the first thing you're going to want to do after you've washed it, clean it very well, wash it out with soap and water, dry it when you're finished. Then you're going to close up the top part here, and you can just push it shut and staple it across to have it closed, okay? If you have the kind with the screw cap, then just take the screw cap off after you've washed it, and you're going to invert this little lip thing at the top up here. So you push it in so that it goes on the inside of your carton. And then what we do next is you're going to need a hole about halfway up your carton for the bird to enter. As you can see, I've already cut the hole here. So it's a circle. Just use a permanent marker to draw about 1.5 to 2 inch size circle is what you'll need, and it's about halfway up your carton from here to there. See that? So this is your opening for the bird to go in and out, okay? Now the circle, if you want to, you can put some glue on here and use it to cover up that little hole up there. We don't want big holes in the top of our little of our birdhouses, but a little hole or a little ventilation is good, which you are going to want to do. So even though I've got a little hole in the very center there, that's going to be okay. So we just put a little tacky glue on there and we glue it into place like that. And so now we have the hole covered, because we don't want a lot of rain coming in, but we do need ventilation. Now with tacky glue, you need to let it set, don't you? You can't move it around. You need to give it time to dry. The next thing you're going to do, and that may fall off while we're talking here because it does need time to dry. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to poke some holes in the bottom. Okay, and you're probably going to need an adult to help you with that. I use sharp scissors when I do mine, so have an adult help you poke some holes in the bottom. These are little drainage holes. They don't need to be very big, but that's in case the birdhouse does get water or rain inside of it. You're going to want some holes so the water can drain out of the bottom. You're also going to want a few holes at the top. Now, I like to just poke them up here underneath the eaves, and that way you have less chance of getting some rain in there. So like I said, you have an adult help you with the poking. You might have a nail on hand or a small screwdriver that you can use to poke a hole, or some very sharp scissors that would poke some holes in here. So about 2 or 3 holes on each side here, and about 4 or 5 holes on the bottom is what you're going to need. Now at this point, you might be thinking, hey, let's just paint it. But here's the thing, with these cartons, they have a wax coating on them, and it takes a lot of paint to cover this so that you don't see the pictures and the half and half and so forth. So an easy way to do this, so you only need 1 coat of paint, is take some masking tape, or in this case, some painter's tape. Now I didn't have masking tape on hand, but I did have painter's tape. And we're just going to start at the bottom of our carton, and we're going to put the painter's tape on there, and we're just going to go around and around and around our carton like this, and just keep working your way up. Now if it gets wrinkled, that's okay, because it gives it kind of a textured look that way. So you're just going to wrap your carton all the way up. And when you get up to the top, or to the part where you have your hole, yeah, we'll just keep going here. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Giving it a nice textured look makes it look a little more like bark from a tree. So it would be a little more camouflaged up in the, when it's sitting up in the tree, and more of a natural habitat for a bird. Now, as you can see, I've come to the hole where I have the hole at, and I'm just going to cover right over top of the hole as well. I'm going to go around and around until I have that covered. Oops, and there my tape bent, but like I said, that's okay. So we're just going to keep going up and up until we have our whole carton covered. Pressing it down as we go. How am I doing, Annie?
Good.
Good? Am I doing good? Awesome, thank you. Okay, so when you get to the top, we don't need to do the very top of it because that's where your roof is going to go. So we've got our carton wrapped now, and you may be thinking, well, where's the hole? Well, if you go like this, you can feel where you have the hole, and then you can just take your scissors and cut little slits like this, and then fold those in, and it's taped, so it's going to stick to the inside of your carton as well. So there you have your hole, okay, and it's all wrapped in painter's tape. Now the next thing you're going to want to do, I mean, you could leave it like this. If you want a blue birdhouse, you could leave it just like this. It has a cool look to it as well. But I like to paint my birdhouse and make it look a little more natural, make it look like it's hanging from the tree, or like it's part of the tree, like it belongs there. The birds will feel more at home. So what I did is I took some acrylic paint. You're not going to want to use water-soluble paint, washable paint. That won't work because, of course, as soon as it rains, you're going to be in trouble. So just get some paint, and you can choose whatever colors you like. You know, birds are okay with different colors too, but I like the natural look. Put some paint on a paper plate, and then you're going to take an old rag and just dip your rag into the paint, and then just start dabbing it on like this. And it's a quick way to get the paint on there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you can just dab it on, and it gives it kind of a textured look to it as well. See how that works? And it's okay if you see some of the blue paint or blue tape through it as well, because that gives it kind of a 3D dimensional look as well, and a nice little texture. So just keep doing that, painting on, or putting your paint on and applying it on in that manner. And then our next step is to make the overhang, the roof for it. And like I said, the eaves from the roof provide for a little bit of protection from the sun and protection from the rain and the elements for the birds. So I made that out of popsicle sticks, and of course you could use sticks that you find in the yard too. Just glue some sticks onto the roof as well. But I put 10, I lined up 10 popsicle sticks in a row, just like this on the table. We'll do that right now. 3, 6, 9, and 10. So line them up like this, and then you're going to take another popsicle stick, and you're going to put some glue on there. Shake that tacky glue down. Oops, there we go. So you line the glue up on here, and then you're going to lay it across like this. And then a second one about halfway up, and I'm going to bring that camera a little closer so you can see that. So as you can see, I did 2 here, and I left a big space up here because this is the part that's going to go on the roof. I hope you saw that. Probably. Oops, I probably blocked it with my hand, didn't I? Here we go. We'll try this again. Here we go. So 2 sticks here, and then leave a larger area here. This is the part that connects to the roof. Okay, here we go. Put this back. And so then our next step is to, after this has dried, we'll be right with you girls, okay? The next part is after your popsicle sticks have dried into one piece like this, you're going to put some glue on here. Shake that down again. And you can use your fingers to rub it around because you don't need a lot of glue. As you know, popsicle sticks and wood absorbs moisture. It absorbs water. So therefore, the glue is going to dry fairly fast. And you can put a little glue on the top of your house as well. If you have a thin layer on both, the tacky glue works better because then it sticks on there much better. So then we're going to just put it on like this. See that? Okay, so now you have your overhang, and it is important to let it dry. You know, don't start playing with it and moving it around. It has to stay there and dry for a little while. So you might want to hold on to it for a little while and not move. Give it time to dry. And then the final, well, 2 more steps actually. The next thing you'll want to do is you're going to get a pencil or a stick, a dowel, maybe a chopstick that you might have on hand, and you're going to put a hole right below the large hole. You're going to put a smaller hole. You also need to poke a hole towards the back of your birdhouse too, so the other end can go through. That way they have a perch to land on. Now, I just thought, I bet you, maybe a perch isn't so good. That would work for a feeder, but I'm thinking, I just realized that would be in the way of making their nest. So for the birdhouse, I changed my mind. We won't have a perch there for the birdhouse. We need to leave it open so that the bird has room to make the nest. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So there we go. So that, if you're making a bird feeder, you're going to want to have a bigger hole in the front, and then you can use the perch. But for the birdhouse, you'll want to go without a perch. And then for our final step, you're going to need something to attach it. I have some wire. I put a small hole through the top of the birdhouse and attach a little wire that you can hang it. Depending on where you have it, you might want to put some wire through the bottom so you can stabilize it up against the trunk of the tree as well. So this is our birdhouse. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you'll make a great little birdhouse to hang in your yard and have fun watching those birds move in. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.